this app just kills me. This is so important when you're traveling. You need to be prepared. Make sure you have some way to contact. It just gives you that peace of mind. Try it out. It's kind of unique. Hey guys, it's me, Annalisa. I am here today to talk to you about the best travel apps. If this is your first time here, my name's Annalisa. I am currently living in the UK, but I am originally from the US. I make content on travel,
tutorials, iOS hacks, sewing, crafts, knitting, recipes,
you name it. If you're watching one of my videos and you see or hear something that you really like, comment below so I can know what I should make more of. Okay. If you're watching this, that means that you've probably booked your trip, and I'm so excited for you. If you haven't booked it yet, just do it. I'm not telling you to spend all of your money needlessly. However, you should do it. In this video, I'm going to go over all of the best travel apps. At least some point in your trip, you're going to need Wi-Fi or data. That's a whole nother topic. I'm going to cover that in probably multiple other videos, but just know that is probably your top priority. I'm going to split this up into categories. There are transportation apps, accommodation apps, communication apps, finance apps, data apps, kind of like what I was talking about with the phone stuff, and just other travel apps. First category, transportation. You probably already know at least some of these. Google Maps, Apple Maps. Pick which one you want. There's pros and cons to both. I love Apple Maps. They have my loyalty. I know I've heard of like people getting directed by Apple Maps to like drive into lakes or whatever. Like, that's on you. Use your common sense. It's still an app. It's not like this magical, powerful, all-knowing, like wise being. It's an app. Apple Maps you can make guides. So it's like basically like a list of places, which is similar to like Google Maps. You can make other maps, which you can like map out routes or just like all of your top locations. For example, this is how I would use it. The worst thing is like wasting your precious travel time searching up restaurants or like arguing with people about like what kind of food you want to eat. That just kills me. What I would do, for example, I would do my research, find all the restaurants that I potentially want to try when I'm on my trip, and I would make either a guide in Apple Maps or a map in Google Maps, and I would mark all those places in that guide or map. So then when I'm there, I can just pull that up and it will just highlight all the little locations, and then I can see, oh, what's closest to me right now, things like that. And then you can like plan your route around it, or like if there's certain landmarks that you want to see on your trip, you can put that in a map. Like it's really useful, and that's what I would recommend doing. You can download both of them so that you can have them even offline. I'm assuming Google Maps does this, but Apple Maps, you can like zoom in on like a bus stop, for example, and it will tell you all the bus numbers that stop at that stop. At least in London, it does that. It's Google Maps or Apple Maps. Pick one. Another one that lots of my friends swear by is City Mapper. I just have to say I've never really come to love City Mapper, but I can definitely see its positives, which other people really like. And I think I would like, but maybe I just love Apple Maps too much. City Mapper is especially great for people on a budget because it will tell you the cost of every transportation option. It's like, you can take a train and then bike, or you can take a taxi and then walk, or you can like take the tube and then a bus and then a train, or whatever it may be. There's all different ways to get to your destination. Sometimes Google Maps and Apple Maps will give you like a price, but not, at least for Apple Maps, it's not all the time. It's just kind of random, I feel like. But City Mapper will always give you a cost of how much each route is going to cost you, which is really, really helpful for people on a budget. It's also really good for biking, I think. And it will even give you the cost of bike rentals and stuff, for example. The thing that I really don't like is that you can't view a city that you're not in, and maybe that's changed. Maybe I just like didn't know how to work the app. I've tried to use it, it's just not my vibe. I think I also just like the ease of access of like Apple Maps. It's like connected to everything, but pretty much all of my friends love City Mapper, so go for it. Also, just a little caveat, if you are driving at all, I've never used Waze. My husband loves Waze, the little ghosty car app, you know? It works, at least in Europe. The nice thing about if you're driving in the UK, Waze will show you where the speed cameras are. I don't know if it does that in the rest of Europe, but if it does, I totally recommend that. That is super useful if you want to avoid getting tickets because they're very strict on the speeds here. So anyways, Waze is good for that. Another really handy app is Trainline. It works super well in the UK. It also works in Europe. I'm not sure if it works anywhere else, but if you are taking any trains, get that app. It will look up all of the train routes that you need. You can buy tickets directly from there. It's so useful. I could do a whole separate video on Trainline, like just get it. Also, if you're coming to the UK, get a rail card, but that's a whole nother thing. Anyways, I'm getting way sidetracked. Omeo. I don't know how to say it. This is a really handy app. I don't usually book anything through it. I don't know that it has the best price deals. However, it is really handy for figuring out different transportation options, especially between different countries in Europe. This one I would say is probably more of a Europe specific. Like, I think you could use it other places, but I just don't know if they have enough coverage. Omeo will tell you like different routes. So like you could take a bus, you could fly, you could take a train, different combinations of those. And it will kind of help you give like a price estimate. Again, I wouldn't book anything through them, but it is handy for like trip planning for transportation. Next section, accommodation. Where are you gonna stay? Well, you probably already know about all of these, so I'm just gonna go through them really quick. Booking.com, easy peasy, like just it's booking.com, like they have everything. Also Airbnb. I would recommend going on both Airbnb and booking.com, and also potentially the direct hotel or wherever you're looking at website if they have one. Just compare between the three because usually places will be listed on all three. Like hotels probably won't be listed on Airbnb, but any kind of like boutique hotel or like rental or things like that are going to be probably on Airbnb and booking.com. I recommend looking across all of them, finding the best price. If you don't care about money, then I would probably recommend either directly with the place or through booking.com because then it's all just in one place. One other one, Hostel World. If you are down to stay in hostels, I 100% recommend Hostel World. Not only can it help you find hostels to stay in, which again, I recommend checking the price on Hostel World and booking.com and potentially Airbnb. Sometimes they'll be listed on there too. Check for prices. I feel like Hostel World usually has the best prices. Sometimes booking.com might be different, but usually it's the same. But the great thing about Hostel World is that it has reviews by actual travelers. And you can even filter it by like age and gender and like traveling solo or with a group, so you can like find reviews from people that have like been traveling similarly as you. So helpful, especially because hostels, you never know what you're gonna get. And so having reviews, so helpful. So definitely check those out. Also, just a side note on accommodation, I always recommend check if you have like a credit card or any kind of like work benefits, any kind of like benefit type thing. Check if you get any deals for hotels and stuff like that. You might not end up using them, but if you check, at least you know, and you might end up saving. I'm all about the savings. Or get points for your credit card, which could help for flights. So, you know, travel hacking. Okay. This is so important when you're traveling. Communication. Communication with people back at home. Communication with new people that you meet on your travels. Communication with your general friend group. Oh, communication is so key. Even like communicating with businesses or your hotel or where you're staying, things like that. Like if you have a tour guide that you've booked, communication is so key. You're definitely gonna want Google Translate. Just get it. Just have it on your phone. Like, it's so useful. You can take pictures of signs and it will translate them for you. You can like speak into it and it will speak out in the other language, like what you're saying to someone that you're talking to live. Like, there are just so many uses for it. Super useful. Just get Google Translate. It's just the best. Also, WhatsApp. If you're from the US, you may not have heard of WhatsApp. If you are literally from anywhere else, you probably have heard it and use it all the time. People in the US, get WhatsApp. It links to your phone number, and then you can just message people over Wi-Fi or data, whatever. Pretty much every country besides the US uses this pretty regularly. So if you meet any new friends, if you have a Airbnb host, if you have a business that you're trying to contact, like a restaurant or something, they'll probably have a WhatsApp number on their like sign. Just get it. It'll be useful. You might not use it, but it's free and you probably will, so just get it. It'll be way easier if you have it downloaded before you go on your trip anyways, so like just get it. Also, make sure you have some way to contact people back home. If you still have your regular phone plan and you're just paying extra for like an international plan or whatever, then you can still text like normal. It's really expensive to do that though, and I don't recommend doing that. But if you do get another SIM card, like I would probably recommend doing, then you're not going to be able to get texts and calls to your regular number while you're traveling. So how do you stay in contact with people back home? Instagram, Facebook Messenger, if you have an iPhone, iMessage, if you do it just over Wi-Fi, like when it's blue, not green, you know what I mean. I think Google has something similar, probably. Just make sure you have at least one, but preferably 2 or 3 ways of contacting people back home without a SIM card. This is also really important for like phone safety, travel safety. If you lose your phone, this is so crucial. You need a way to contact people, specifically people back home. This is like a whole nother video. Phone safety, I will make a video about that because like you need to be prepared, especially if you're traveling. Anyways, make sure you have at least 1, if not 2 or 3 ways to communicate with people at home. Instagram, Facebook Messenger, iMessage, email, like stuff. Make sure you have a way. Last one on communication is Duolingo, our favorite little green owl. It's just great. I just love it. I have like 20 languages on there. If you're really dedicated, Duolingo could teach you a new language and you could totally become fluent. If you're not like fully dedicated and like really like investing yourself in like studying and probably like taking notes and stuff as well, you probably won't get fluent from Duolingo. But the nice thing about Duolingo is that it usually starts out with really helpful phrases, so you can easily learn a couple phrases that will help you get by in whatever country you're traveling to. I feel like we've kind of lost that respect for other languages. Languages are really precious, and I really think that we need to respect them, and I think it really shows that you are being respectful and thoughtful and genuine when you really take some time to at least try to learn a language before you go to a different country. I recommend that. We're getting there. Finance apps. Okay, we'll zoom through this. Basics, like just have your banking apps, or apps, whatever you use to bank, especially for whatever card or cards you're taking with you on your trip. Have the app on your phone. You need to be able to check if there's frauds. You need to be able to freeze your card if your wallet gets stolen while you're traveling. You need to be able to see how much money you're spending so you don't overspend. Like this is just basic finance. Like just have it on your phone. You need access to it, okay? PayPal. I don't like PayPal. I really don't. But I'm putting it on here because so many businesses and just people in general use PayPal. It's kind of like the Venmo of everywhere that's not the US. Venmo is so much better. There's no Venmo anywhere except for the US, maybe in Canada, but like PayPal is really handy if for some reason you have to pay for something and you can't use a card. Or for example, like if you meet some new friends or you have friends that you're traveling with that aren't from the US, they probably will have already talked to you about this. If you're ever splitting any costs or you need to pay someone back, if they don't have Venmo, they should have PayPal. So if you have Wise or another good travel money app, then you can just transfer money, bank transfers and stuff without using PayPal. That's a whole nother video, but when I make that video, if you watch that, then I would change my recommendation to using like Wise or some other money exchanging app versus PayPal, because just PayPal is just, ugh, I don't like it. But, you know, it's whatever. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. You can't escape it. Okay, last financial app is Splitwise. If you haven't heard of Splitwise, now you have. It's so great. I love it. Basically, it's just an app that you can put in all of what you pay for on a trip, so you don't have to worry about splitting every cost as it happens. You can just, throughout the trip, you're like, oh, I'm paying for dinner, or like, oh, I paid for these tickets to the castle, or my friend paid for our train tickets. You just keep track of all of those, put them into the app. You can choose a couple different settings of like how you want to split things, and then it will just split all of the costs and it will even it out. So, for example, like I've used it where me and my friends will like constantly update it throughout the trip. So like near the end of our trip, we're like watching the total and we're trying to make it so it balances out so we don't have to like transfer to each other at the end of the trip, which is really nice. So we don't have to split every cost, but we can also keep track during the trip so that by the end of the trip, we don't have to like one person Venmos the other person like $1,000 or pounds or whatever. That's a lot of money, holy cow. Splitwise, it's really handy. If you mess around on it, you can figure out what it does, but it's really useful. It's really nice. I've used it on quite a few trips. Apps for data. Without getting into the whole topic of Sims and stuff for your phone, Nomad is a really nice app. You can get eSIMs, so check if your phone is eSIM compatible first. You can get a bunch of eSIMs just from your phone. You can buy it on your phone, install it within a couple minutes. I think you do need like an internet connection to install it. But then once you have it, like you have however many gigabytes of data that you've paid for, you can top it up. I don't know that it's the cheapest. I don't know that it is the best for every country. However, it is worldwide, international, pretty good coverage, and the prices are decent. Again, without going too deep into it, Nomad is a really good option. And if you join Nomad from the link below, you'll get $3 of credit. Other app that I recommend for traveling, especially if you are a digital nomad, you're planning on working while you're traveling, or you just want to be extra secure, which I completely recommend. If you're planning on using lots of Wi-Fi instead of data, which, I mean, using Wi-Fi will save you money, but Wi-Fi networks are not safe. So if you're planning on using pretty much any Wi-Fi on your trip, you should get this app, and it is Surfshark. This is not sponsored, although if they want to sponsor me, that would be cool, I guess. You've probably heard about Surfshark already. I don't know that they're the best. I haven't done too much research into it, but I have used Surfshark for quite a few years and they really work really well. You can get little widgets that you can just have on your phone screen. You can hotspot from different countries, which is nice if you want to change your location on your phone from where you are now. That's really handy. The most important thing is that it's a VPN and it will protect your phone when you are on public networks, which is so important when you're traveling. You're going to be accessing your banking app, your bookings of where you're staying, your tickets for transportation, your PayPal. Even if you're not doing any kind of work or things like that, like you're going to be accessing sensitive information from your phone while you're traveling. You just are. It just gives you that peace of mind and that extra security to have a VPN on your phone so that you don't have to worry about having your information stolen. It's one of those things where like you don't think it will happen to you until it does. So just get a VPN and it won't happen. Just do it. There's a link for that down below as well. Okay, last category. There are 3 other apps that I would say are fun to download for traveling. First one, I love this app. I love it so much. It's called Polar Steps. It's basically like a travel journaling app, but it's really fun because it shows like your travel as well. So it'll show like your flight and your little train journeys and stuff. You can put in photos for every day of your trip. You can put in your locations of where you've been. You can write little journal entries and stuff, and you can change your profile for it to be like public or like share with friends. So like your friends and family back home can follow along on your trip and see all your photos and your little stories. It's just so cute. It's so cute. It's so fun. I used it on my really big Europe trip, and it was so nice for keeping my family updated on what I was doing. And it was really nice for me because I got to be able to journal about my trip as it was happening. And so now I have all those memories. I can look back and remember the things that I did and things that happened to us on our trip. It's just really nice. It's a nice visual way to journal your travels. And it's cute. I just get it. It's really, you'll love it. Another app that is, I like it. It's a good idea. I will say sometimes it is hard to use. It's called Too Good to Go. Basically, it's like a food app. So it's food that's too good to go, like too good to be thrown away. So basically it's an option for like stores and restaurants to sell their unsold food at the end of the day, or like halfway through the day or whatever, at a lower price to you. Some of them will have like mystery bags, or they'll kind of give you like a general idea. It's like you'll get some pastries, or you'll get a sandwich and a salad or something. But like you don't know exactly what it is. You can't order it, because if you were ordering it then you would be paying full price. You can get food that they're done with for cheap, and yeah, it's just really nice. It's a good way to help reduce waste as well, which is always, it makes you feel good, taste good, feel good, you know. The only downside about Too Good to Go is, again, a lot of it depends on the restaurants and the locations. Also, this has happened to me before. I have paid for a Too Good to Go meal and never got it because I didn't make it there in time and the shop was closed and I couldn't pick up my food. You can't get a refund, like it's just gone. And I'm not saying that like this app is bad. What I am saying is that it's tricky because you have to work around the restaurant schedules. Like they're not gonna be giving away low cost food that they could still sell during the day. They're gonna be giving it away at times that might be less convenient, because that's when nobody is really shopping for food, which is why they need to get rid of it. So just be aware of that. If you can master it though, like it is such a handy app. Cheaper food, good food, saving the planet. One small step at a time. I do recommend it. I've gotten some really nice Danish pastries. And then my last option, I haven't had a chance to use it all that much, but I think it'd be really fun. It's the geocaching app. So if you don't know what geocaching is, basically it's like real life treasure hunts all over the world. Each cache has different rules of like whether you can like take something from the treasure box and then you have to leave something, or whether you find it, you get to take everything, or you find it and then you just like sign a register and be like, I found it, or you take a picture or whatever. Like they're just little fun treasure hunts. For example, in London, they'll have ones where it's like a Jack the Ripper themed one, and it will take you like on a journey, so you have to go to the actual like physical location that it maps on the map. So it's really cool if you have the time to kind of like take an interesting way of seeing a new country, you know. Geocaching will take you through places that you probably wouldn't go otherwise, and it's just really a fun thing to do. Try it out. It's kind of unique, you know. We finally made it. Oh my gosh, so many apps. Again, you probably won't need all of these apps for every trip that you go on. Pick and choose, find what's right for you, find what is going to help you have the best, less stressful trip that you could possibly have. I hope this was helpful. Give it a like if you found this helpful. Comment if you can think of any other apps that I've missed. And if you want to see more content like this, for example, all of the ones that I reference, videos about how to use your phone while traveling, how to make sure that you are prepared in case your phone and or wallet is stolen while you're traveling, things like that. If you want to see more content like that, hit subscribe and I will see you soon. Bye!